Hello student, today our topic is the struggle for survival. Before it we have studied about the society of French Revolution. Now the struggle for survival. At that time the society was divided into the three states: nobility, clergy, and the peasants and the artisans. Now what was the condition of France? By 1789, the population of France had reached 28 millions from 23 millions in 1715. In 1715, the population of France was 23 million, but in 1789, it reached 28 millions. It means there is a jump of populations of 5 million. This led to rapid increase in demand for food grains. Means whenever the populations increased, automatically the demands for food also increased. But the productions could not keep the pace with the growing demand. Means production is not as much as the population increased. So there was a shortage of food. So price of bread rose rapidly. Means whenever there is a shortage, automatically the price of that thing rose. So price of bread rose rapidly. Majority of populations who worked as a laborer had fixed wages. Their wages could not keep pace with the rise in prices. Means their wages not increased as the price of bread increased. So the gap between the rich and poor widened. Means rich become a rich and poorer become a poor become a poorer. During drought and hail, the situations would worsen as the harvest would reduce. Already there was a shortage of food, and when there was a drought and hail, the situations become very bad. Means the crops, there was a too much shortage of food, and this led to subsistence crisis. And what do you mean by the subsistence crisis? An extreme situations where the basic means of livelihood are endangered. Means those who are the basic needs, means bread, cloth, and shelter. These are the basic needs. And when these basic needs are endangered, then it is called, this situation is called subsistence crisis. Now, come to the next topic, role of middle class. Now, middle class is responsible for the French Revolution. Who was the middle class? And what was the role of middle class and what were their ideas? So let's start. Merchants, manufacturers, lawyers, administrative officials are in middle class. Means middle class, they belong to third states. They were belong to third class, but due to the trade, overseas trade, they become rich. So the merchants, manufacturers, lawyers, they are rich, and they are also in the middle class. They due to their trade, they come under the middle class. They were rich and educated. They were rich, now due to trade they become rich, and also they were educated. Now what were the demands of middle class? They believed that no group in society should be privileged by birth. Means you all know that nobility and clergy has some privileges. Privileges means they are exempted from the taxes. So it was a demand of the middle class that no group in society should be privileged by birth. Person's social positions must depend on his merit. Means his positions is depend upon his intelligence, his merit. A society based on freedoms and equal laws and opportunity to all. They wanted that such kind of society that was based on freedom and equal laws, means all have equals before the law, and everyone have opportunity for all. Means if anyone wanted to become a clergy, anyone wanted to go to the of means high officials in army, then everyone has equal opportunity. So these were the demands of middle class. Now we are going to study about some famous philosopher and their work. John Locke, and the book was written by him, Two Treatises of Government. In this book, he refuted the doctrines of divine and absolute right. Means at that time, John Locke was against the divine power of the king. Means at that time there was no control over the powers of the king, so he want that there should be control over the power of kings. Next, famous philosopher Jean Jacques Rousseau, and Social Contract was his famous book. In this book, he written there based on social contract between the people and representatives. Means he was also against the monarchy system. He wanted that there should be a representative government, means the government which is elected by the people. Next, Montesquieu. In the spirit of the law, and in his book he proposed a division of power within the government between the legislature, the executive and judiciary. You all know that all the powers at that time, all the powers lies with the king. I mean, king is legislature, executive and judiciary. Now he wanted that there should be a representative government, and in the representative government power should be divided between legislature, executive and judiciary. Means one person has no all the power. So these were the philosophers, those who are responsible for the French revolutions, because their ideas have become very famous, and the people reads their ideas. So these philosophers are also responsible for the French Revolution. So this is all about the role